Welcome to Transaction Trending, the Electronic Transactions Association's podcast exploring the cutting edge of payments and fintech. I'm your host, John Losh, Director of Membership and Education here at the ETA. Today, we're diving into the impact of the ETA Certified Payments Professional Certification, also known as the ETA CPP, and its impact on careers in the payments industry. The ETA CPP is the gold standard for payments professionals looking to distinguish themselves, and over the lifetime of the program, we've had over 3,000 payments professionals earn their certification. Joining us today are Fandy Montgomery, Underwriting Manager, and our colleague Kim Krzemien, Project Manager at North, formerly known as North American Bank. Fandy is an ETA CPP veteran who has held the certification since 2013. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have Kim, who is one of the newest additions to the ETA CPP club by earning the certification this year. Fandy, Kim, welcome to Transaction Trending. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you to have us here today.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
So before we kind of start our conversation, I first want to just take a moment to commend both of you for earning the ETA CPP. It requires a great motivation and commitment, and we thank you for not only being involved, but for also investing in your payments journey. So I wanted to take a moment and let's start at the beginning and discuss the benefits of the ETA and the CPP over time. Fandy, let's start with you. You've had your certification since 2013, so let's talk about how the ETA has helped you over the career. But let's start at the beginning. Think back to when you first earned your certification. What was the motivating force that drove you to earn your ETA CPP?
So back then, thank you so much for having me on this call today. So I joined the North American Bank Club, and today is North, and in August 2011. So at that time, our senior leadership introduced the ETA CPP certification to us. The vision was to take North American Bank Card to the next level, leveraging the resources, the ongoing training and support, and create a team standard. And then at that time, I was nominated and encouraged by my leadership team to become certified and to set an example for others to follow. And of course, I would love to have the opportunity to be part of this vision.
That's incredible. Now, since you've earned your CPP, are there any examples or things that you've noticed have helped distinguish you from others in the industry? Maybe there's particular projects or opportunities to connect with those because you've earned your ETA CPP?
Yes, absolutely. After becoming certified, I was given an opportunity to train and assist other team members within the underwriting and other departments to become certified. And as you know, we have many colleagues to become certified, and Kim is one of them. And I was connected with so many different people in other teams that I normally would not have the opportunity to.
That's amazing. I'm sure it's created some camaraderie and that shared connection of either earning
Absolutely.
or trying to work on your ETA CPP together.
Yes.
So let's talk about your career advancement. Has there been any opportunity for you to grow since earning your ETA CPP by using the knowledge and the skills you earned?
Yes, actually, because of the recertification, we require to have to do so many CEUs, and we all know the payment industry, and it is a niche market in this gigantic financial world. And it involves millions of dollars every single day. And keeping up with the information, the changing rules and regulations, what to look out for, what the trends in the particular sections are difficult to maintain. However, ETA provide many seminars, webinars, magazines, articles, and other means of communication for us to keep abreast of the payment industry. And at that time, after I was certified, and I was the go-to person to provide the underwriting team with the latest information and compliance. I think this helped to pave the way for my career growth in the company. And today I'm the manager of the underwriting.
That's amazing to hear. I want to shift a little bit and talk about the network You've talked a little bit about internally. Have you had the chance to connect with others ETA CPP since earning the certification?
Yes, I was so lucky to have attend one of the Transact meeting. It was in a Venetian Resort Hotel in Las Vegas. And I met so many professionals in sales, compliance, and risk management. That experience is incredible and have so many different networking with different even companies and I saw them in the webinar and finally I met them in person. That's incredible. And I also connected with so many ETA credential holders through our company in a group chat setting. We work for the same company, but the group connects us across multiple lines and channels in the company. It's a great experience.
It's incredible to hear. Fandy, thank you so much for sharing your experience. We'll come back in just a couple of minutes, but I want to pivot and talk to Kim a little bit and talk about the other end of the spectrum. So Kim, first off, congratulations. I'm sure you were really excited to see that you earned your ETA CPP and that all the hard work paid off.
Yeah, it's quite the curriculum you have to study for, and it was super exciting to get that that congratulations email saying I got my CPP.
So let's talk about kind of the beginning. What motivated you to pursue the ETA CPP? Were the motivations similar to Fandy, or did they look a little bit different for you?
I would say they were pretty similar to Fandy. I came into North as a project manager in 2023, and I had very limited payments experience. So I didn't have very much knowledge of the industry. I didn't quite understand things like surcharges and discount rates and things like this. So working with my senior leadership team, after I worked at North for a year and got some on-the-job training, they suggested that I should go get my ETA CPP certification. So I signed up. I studied the the credentials. I looked through our study guides. We have a wonderful resource that we just kind of have been all contributing to learn this material as a group. And the CPP certification criteria was really great for foundational knowledge for me to be up and coming in this payments world. So it was a great experience and I learned so much from it.
That's amazing to hear. Has anything changed about your day-to-day since you've earned the ETA CPP?
Yeah, there's tons of things that I've noticed in my day-to-day now that I have this foundational knowledge of payments. I'm getting a lot of those aha moments when I'm going throughout my day, just putting all the pieces together from different lines, like combining things like sales and compliance and my risk and underwriting background. It's really cool to see the connections that previously wouldn't have clicked for me across the departments. So that's really cool. And I've sort of become the subject matter expert for my team, which is great. So having all that knowledge has been incredibly helpful in order to get me there.
Yeah. What about networking? Have you had an opportunity has there been any doors that have been open since you've earned your ETA CPP, either with people to connect with internally or externally?
Yeah. So Fandy mentioned we actually have a chat space at North for ETA CPP certified professionals. So that's been a really great resource just for connecting internally with our team, talking across business lines, being able to ask questions. You know that you're getting people who understand the payments industry when you're asking these questions. So for me as more of a newbie, it's really exciting to have a built-in database of people that I can reach out to for any questions that I might have. So that's been super helpful. Also, there's been some ETA CPP calls and webinars that we've had. So networking is huge in those. You're meeting people across different department lines, across different companies. It's really cool to be updated from them on the latest industry trends and any news that's happening in the world. Payments is constantly changing, so it's really helpful to have that network of people to kind of rely on and use for my benefit.
I think the only consistent is that everything is always changing.
Exactly. Yep. That's true.
So I want to bring the conversation back to both of you. And I want to look ahead and look towards the future. I'd like to hear both of your perspectives about what the future of your payments career looks like for you and how you plan to leverage the ETA CPP and the subject matter expertise that you've gained over the lifetime of this program. So Fandy, let's start with you. What does the future look like for you?
So I'm planning, of course, continue to take in the fountain of information available on the webinar and seminar. That is like keeping up in the payment industry, like Kim was saying, that's a ever-changing payment industry and it keep evolving. But one of my goals is I noticed in the group chat, there were quite a few questions about recertification and timing. So I renewed my certification a couple of times because since 2013, and I want to be more involved in sharing my experience with them, hoping this can ease them into the process. So it's not that scary, but we just need to do a little prep work and tracking and some of them, then it will be good to go.
Sure, it'll be a little bit easier for them to kind of do it together. That's amazing.
Absolutely. And then with someone, or I can come in and share what I keep tracking, what documentation or anything that I use, that hopefully it will help them to ease further. It's time to recertify.
And Kim, what about you? What does the future look like for you?
I mean, kind of the same as Fandy. So the continuing education credits have not only been extremely helpful for me to learn the industry, but it's also helpful just staying on top of any changing trends or news that's in the industry. So those have been extremely helpful. I think the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is getting involved more with the ETA. So ETA has many different committees on things like AI and mobile payments and PCI compliance. There's such a great resource to kind of come into specific topics that you're interested in, and you're going to meet people who actually know what they're talking about. For me, and getting really in depth with the nitty gritty things on those topics. So that's what I'm really looking forward to in terms of learning more about the industry and getting my hands dirty there.
Yeah, the committees are really an excellent way to kind of build and forge those connections, both personally and thinking about the business and trying to think about what's going on and what's changing. So it's exciting to hear you're looking to get more involved with the committees here at the ETA. Now let's kind of look from a broader perspective and kind of see what advice you might have for those that are considering the ETA CPP or kind of looking to level up their career. Is there anything or any advice that you have from your experience that you'd like to share with those that are considering earning the ETA CPP? Kim, why don't we start with you first?
Yeah. So again, I'm new to the payments industry. So I think just having these learning opportunities with continuing education credits is really helpful. And obviously the networking opportunities are some of the reasons I've gotten my CPP certification to start with. So I think just continuing on in that notion would be great. It's super helpful for me in terms of a career and just really getting into all these different niches of the payments industry, which is really cool. I think, again, the ETA committees are a great resource. It's a great place to listen right now for me in discussions among professionals. And as my career advances, like I can be a part of those discussions. Like we're talking with top industry professionals. They know what they're talking about, and we have a voice and we can influence those topics and make a difference in, places like Congress and lobbying and things like that. So I think the options are limitless for, what you can do with the CPP. And I think I'm just really excited to to see what the future has in store.
That's amazing. Fandy, what about you? What advice would you have to those that are considering the ETA CPP?
If you are considering, do it, because ETA provide a broad view of the payment industry. It touches multiple departments from Kim was mentioning, the government policy, the lobbying, the trends, the compliance, and it's just a touch of it. And because the webinar, if you don't have time, set time to attend, you can always log into the website and then review it later and over again. So it will allow you to learn it at your own pace. You don't have to be like dedicated a particular time. If you can attend live, that's great. But then you can always have this technology on your side. So ETA is a great source, and it will leverage and help you on your payment industry career going forward.
Well, Fandy, Kim, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your insights into your journey with the ETA CPP. Really value your time in kind of helping to promote this journey for others. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, John.
Well, that brings us to a close of today's episode of Transaction Trending. I'd like to thank our guests, Fandy Montgomery and Kim Krzemien from North, for sharing their journeys about the ETA CPP. Now that electronic payments are ubiquitous across society, it's increasingly important to invest in our workforce to continue servicing businesses and consumers. The ETA CPP represents a significant milestone in an individual's payments journey, and the ETA is honored to support professional development across the industry. To learn more about the ETA CPP or other educational opportunities like the online Payments 101 and 201 courses, visit us online at electran.org. I'm John Losh, and until next time, keep innovating and continue investing in your payments journey.